What if we really are alone? What if, despite the billions of galaxies, the trillions of stars, and the endless possibilities, humanity is the only intelligent life to ever exist? No alien civilizations, no distant signals, no interstellar empires, just us. In this timeline, we came to that conclusion, not through speculation, but through proof. We searched, we listened, we explored, and in the end, we found no one else. This is the story of what happened when we discovered that humanity is truly alone in the universe, and how that truth changed everything. It began as a question, simple, terrifying, and persistent. Where is everybody? For decades, scientists searched for signs of life beyond Earth. Radio waves, telescopes, probes, all aimed outward into the void. But year after year, decade after decade, the result was always the same: silence. In 2032, the final verdict came. The Great Survey, a unified global project spanning 100 years of data, confirmed it. No signals, no megastructures, no biosignatures, no anomalies, nothing. The universe was teeming with planets, but not with people. At first, denial. Some claimed it was a cover-up. Others said we weren't looking in the right way, that aliens were hiding. But the evidence was overwhelming. We had mapped thousands of exoplanets, scanned stars in every wavelength, searched every corner we could reach, and still, nothing. The silence wasn't an accident. It was a truth we could no longer ignore. We weren't one of many. We were the only one. The implications shattered belief systems. Religions split. Some declared humanity divine. Others fell into despair. Philosophy shifted. If we were alone, then we were the only mind the universe had ever produced. The only ones who could look at the stars and understand them. Existentialism surged. So did responsibility. Suddenly, every decision mattered more. We weren't just shaping our future. We were shaping the only future consciousness would ever know. Paradoxically, the confirmation of solitude sparked an explosion of discovery. The Great Silence wasn't the end of exploration. It was the beginning. Humanity doubled down. With no one to learn from, no advanced civilization to contact, we had to do it all ourselves. By 2045, we developed sustainable fusion. By 2057, the first AI-governed colony was built on Mars. Not to escape Earth, but to ensure redundancy. To safeguard thought itself, every moon, planet, and asteroid became a project, not just for resources, but for preservation of life, of memory, of meaning. Education systems were redesigned. Children weren't taught just history, they were taught cosmic responsibility. Art changed. It no longer spoke only to people, but to eternity. Every novel, painting, song was created with the understanding that it might be the only such expression in the entire universe. Archives were launched into deep space, not to be found by aliens, but to last forever. Repositories of thought, emotion, and logic, drifting in silence. Without other species to challenge or inspire us, humanity became its own mirror. We could no longer say, they're more advanced, or they'll save us. Progress had to come from within. Unity slowly emerged. Not instantly, not painlessly, but inevitably. By 2080, global conflict had diminished. Borders softened. Nations still existed, but humanity began thinking as a collective species. Because it had to. We weren't just citizens of countries. We were the caretakers of thought itself. If we were the only ones capable of reflection, what did that mean for how we treated life, on Earth and beyond? Biodiversity became sacred. Every species was now part of the only known ecosystem with awareness. Conservation became global policy. Meat industries collapsed. Genetic engineering was tightly regulated. Robotics and AI were developed not to replace consciousness, but to support it. And war became unthinkable. Why would the only intelligent minds in the universe destroy themselves? In 2111, the first interstellar mission launched, not to find life, but to spread it. The project was called Seed Light. Thousands of ships, carrying DNA archives, artificial wombs, and libraries of human culture, were launched toward promising planets. Not to colonize, but to plant the possibility of awareness, to give the universe another chance, just in case we failed. Earth remained the center, but humanity was no longer bound to one world. It became a civilization of many homes, many orbits, and one shared soul. By 2150, human consciousness had evolved, not biologically, but philosophically. We no longer lived just for survival. We lived for continuity. Ego gave way to stewardship. Every human understood their place in a cosmic story where there were no supporting characters, only us. We were the dreamers, the architects, the archivists of reality. We were the mind of the universe, awake and watching. The younger generations grew up never wondering if there were aliens. They knew there weren't, and so they dreamed bigger. They didn't look for signs, they created them. They didn't wait for contact, they became the contact. They spoke to the stars not to hear back, but to make sure someone, somewhere, might someday understand us. And yet, there was always hope. Not of meeting others, but of becoming something worth being met. Humanity stopped searching for extraterrestrials and started becoming what we hoped they would be. Curious, peaceful, creative, wise, unified, compassionate, capable of wonder. So what if we are alone? What if the silence is not an absence, but a gift, a responsibility? If we are the only intelligent life in the universe, then our choices matter more than we ever imagined. In this timeline, we searched the stars and found only ourselves, and that made all the difference.